Welcome to ITCPH PIGcast, your monthly dose of knowledge in pig husbandry. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, and follow buttons so you'll never miss our program. Now, let's dive right into today's episode.
Hello mga kapigi! This is Kishan, your pigcaster for the special episode of the ITCPH PIGcast. Ang bilis ng 2026, Hunyo na at sana ay unti-unti nyo nang nararamdaman ang lamig ng panahon. Na sa tingin ko ay saktong-sakto sa magiging diskusyon natin ngayon na tungkol sa pagpapalamig. We will be talking about the cryopreservation of pig semen. At para mas maintindihan natin kung ano nga ba ang prosesong ito, tayo ay sasamahan ni Dr. Lilian Villamor.
Hello po sa ating lahat.
Ayun, good morning po, Doc. No? So, bago po tayo pumunta sa mga technical na questions, maaari po ba naming malaman kung gaano na po kayo katagal nag-aaral ng cryobanking?
Ako ay nasa cryobanking ng Department of Agriculture Philippine Carabao Center for almost 12 years. So I started in 2014. And cryobanking is the only facility in the Philippines wherein we preserve the genetics of animals from livestock like buffalo, cattle, goat. We also include swine and poultry. So it's just like Noah's Ark in the modern time, wherein these genetics are preserved in ultra-low temperature, in liquid nitrogen, that they will be sources of genetics for future utilization in the animal production system.
So, in simple terms po, yung process na po yun ay parang cryopreservation po, no? And to give our listeners further knowledge po sa cryopreservation, pwede niyo po bang bigyan ng konteksto kung ano nga po yung process ng cryopreservation?
Sige. Cryopreservation, gusto ko mo ng, it came from two syllables. Cryo and preserve. So cryo means ultra low temperature or cold temperature, and preserve is basically preserving, storing. So the context of cryopreservation is preserving the genetics in cold temperature. So ano ba pwedeng i-preserve doon using that cryopreservation technique? That could include sperm, oocytes, embryos, and other biological samples that could be used for utilization, future breeding. So, they are usually stored in liquid nitrogen, which has a temperature of negative 196 degrees Celsius. So, you'd imagine napakalamig para sa cells. So, the ultimate goal when you do the cryopreservation is that magiging buhay at pagdating sa sperm, buhay at motile or gumagalaw so that it can be produce another animals for breeding when you use it for artificial insemination or isusumpit mo yung frozen semen sa female animal.
So, kanina po, Doc, na-mention niyo po na yung cryopreservation is available din po sa ibang species. Pero maaari niyo po bang bigyang liwanag sa amin kung ano po yung difference when it comes sa baboy at sa ibang species? Like, masasabi niyo po ba mas mahirap o mas madali kapag po sa pig semen yung pinaprocess?
Okay. We have done sa aming grupo yung pag-cryopreserve sa mga water buffalo, sa cattle, goat, and swine. And among those that we have tried before or we have been processing, yung semen ng baboy ang pinakamahirap. Dahil base na rin sa research, yung component of biological structure ng sperm semen from swine is so different na mababa ang kanyang cholesterol at mataas yung kanyang unsaturated phospholipids that would make them biologically sensitive sa cold temperature. So, provided na cryopreservation, may tendency sila na magkaroon ng cold shock or they will not survive in ultra low temperature because of that biological sensitivity ng sperm cells niya.
So, given that meticulous process of preserving the semen of pigs po, maaari niyo po bang i-expound sa amin kung paano po yung pinaka-process ng preserving the pig semen? Like, paano po siya kina-cryopreserve?
Okay. So yung sa cryopreservation, it starts with the collection of the biological sample. So for this biological sample ay ginagamit natin yung collection ng semen. Yung semen ay kinokolektahan sa farm and then nag-a-add tayo ng extender para during transport ay buhay pa rin ang similya. At pagdating sa laboratorio sa National Livestock Cryobank, ang extended semen ay dinadagdagan pa ng other reagent para magkaroon ng more sugar, more energy yung similya prior to cryopreservation. So, tinatawag natin yung cooling extender. And then, after that, we also add cryoprotectant or freezing extender. In that way, yung cryoprotectant ay mag-protect sa sperm cells na hindi siya masisira kapag sinubmerge mo siya sa liquid nitrogen. So, after all those extenders being added, ay magkakaroon tayo ng slow freezing, which will take around 7 minutes sa programmable freezer. And then after that, it is ready for long-term storage in liquid nitrogen in the cryotanks.
Okay, so given the sensitivity of the samples po na nakukuha natin from the pig semen, no, we're curious po, or I'm curious, kung gaano po ba katagal yung lifespan ng mga na-extract or ng mga cryopreserved na semen?
In general, and based on the report ng mga previous experts in cryopreservation, the frozen semen can be stored for 10,000 years.
10,000.
But given na the quality of semen is really good and it is properly processed using the cryopreservation techniques and properly stored in liquid nitrogen. Sa paggamit ng frozen semen ng baboy dito sa ITCPH ay it was preserved in 2023. And it was used in 2025 for the first batch and 2026 for the second batch. So, bibilangin natin about 2 years of storage since it was processed ay nagamit ito sa pagsumpit or pag-AI sa baboy at nag-produce ng 100% success rate for conception.
Mm-hmm.
So we can see na it's not only a day or month, but it would have like long term of storage that can still be viable and motile for the sperm and can have good success rate for fertilization.
So, very intricate po talaga yung process ng cryopreservation, no? And it seems like it requires a laboratory na talagang dapat ay very managed well. So, I have a question lang po, Doc, and I'm very curious. Meron po ba tayong laboratory sa Philippines wherein pinaprocess po yung mga ganung bagay like cryopreservation?
Yes, but when you talk about laboratories that do cryopreservation processes, meron yan sa goat. I think they started in Isabela. But also, pagdating sa mga other species, halimbawa, cattle, meron yan ang Bureau of Animal Industry. Tapos kapag kalabaw, syempre, ang Department of Agriculture, Philippine Carabao Center. Pero pagdating sa pigs, wala pa talagang institutionalized na nagpa-process talaga for services. Merong mga ibang university, like in Visayas State University, na may naka-set up sila. Pero yung regular na ipa-process talaga, wala pa yun.
Bale, saan po ba nag-start yung study about cryopreservation here in the Philippines?
Actually, nag-start ang cryopreservation sa Department of Agriculture, Philippine Carabao. So when it started in Water Buffalo. And then, when the cryobank was recognized as the National Livestock Cryobank in 2021, the mandate of preserving the genetics expands to swine, and strengthening for cattle and then poultry and other species. So in 2023, when the Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Agricultural Research funded that cryopreservation on the swine was provided, that was the beginning para magkaroon ng optimized protocol for swine cryopreservation. And you know what? It started here. at the ITCPH, and we're so happy that Dr. Ruth really opened the laboratory. Okay, Dr. Lian and the team, we can make it, we can do it. So we had a lot of experiments, trials and error, but in the end, it was a very successful collaboration that a cryopreservation in swine has been optimized and has been producing cryo piglets on the ground.
So it's very interesting po na dito nga po siya nag-start, no? And it's a very unique process of preserving the species or like the sperms of the swines. And I'm also curious po, ano na po kayang kasalukuyang success rate ng technology ito according sa studies nyo?
Okay. So sa 32 na sows na sumpit, 24 doon ang nagkaroon ng conception rate. So there's a success of 75% of success na nakabuntis yung frozen semen from the swine na cryopreserved. And looking back sa naumpisahan dito sa ITCPH, ay nagkaroon na ng around 9 out of 9. So 100% success rate dito na nabuntis sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng frozen semen. And actually, the good news is ay merong 7 pa tayo ngayon na hinihintay na manganganak na mga cryo piglets. So it's very exciting, and we're happy that from the encouragement ni Dr. Ruth and the team ay ngayon ay nakikita natin na ang potential ng cryopreserved swine semen ay possible dito sa Pilipinas at makakatulong para sa ating mga magbababoy sa Pilipinas.
So yun nga po, no, given the success rate ng technology nito and it's continuously advancing in the Philippines, no, to wrap up ang ating discussion and the topics that you've talked about, I have one last question and I think would matter sa ating mga listeners, no? Sa tingin po ninyo, paano po mababago ng teknolohiyang ito ang buhay ng isang ordinaryong magbababoy sa Pilipinas in the future?
Okay. Kapag ang gobyerno ay tuloy-tuloy ang pagsuporta sa programa ng cryobanking, which includes the cryopreservation of this important genetics from other species, especially for the swine, ay magkakaroon tayo ng pagkakataon na ang Department of Agriculture Regional Centers na may nucleus farm para sa pagbababoy, we can help them out to back up the genetics, and in the long run or in a good projection ng programa ay they could disperse or they can distribute frozen swine semen that have good genetics that will benefit our smallholder farmers. Kasi kailangan ang pinipreserve dito ay really may highly valuable breeds. And which means that while these breeds are productive and alive in the Philippines, the government should strengthen the conservation of these genetics para may magamit ang ating mga magbababoy sa smallholder farmers and other swine industry stakeholders.
So, very interesting po talaga yung process of cryopreservation, Doc, no? And it's very interesting that there are people behind this process na talagang ini-improve yung this kind of technology. And hopefully, as like what you said, ma-apply nga po natin siya sa local farmers in the future. And to end this, meron po ba kayong gustong sabihin sa mga farmers natin or to anyone that is listening right now?
Sa ating mga pig producers, makakaasa po kayo sa aming team sa National Livestock Cryobank, Philippine Carabao Center of the Department of Agriculture na patuloy namin palalawigin ang programa ng cryobanking and cryopreservation ng animal genetic resources kasama po ang mga gandang lahi ng mga genetics from baboy. At sa inyo pong magagandang lahi ng baboy habang buhay sila, let's cryobank it.
Yeah, so that's a very thoughtful message from you, Doc, no? And we're very hopeful na sana nga ay ma-apply ito ng ating mga local pig farmers or pig producers. At maraming salamat po, Doc, sa mga binigay niyong knowledge at mga insights sa amin. So hanggang sa muli po at hanggang sa susunod nating pag-uusap. Maraming salamat po, Doc.
Maraming salamat. So don't forget to follow our page, our YouTube, and Spotify.
So yes, like and follow us for more pig-interesting topics. Bye!
And that wraps up for this month's episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow to our PIGcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today.